GAD might be bothering you on a day-to-day basis. It sometimes leads you to miss out on sleep. It will lead you to believe that you are not enough and that you are not doing better. You want to be better. You might see some progress, but you're not there yet to the point and place where you want to be. GAD might lead you to stress. You're always stressing about everything, but this is an obsession with your problems. What is GAD? GAD is generalized anxiety disorder. I will break down now the symptoms of it, how to deal with it, and tell you why it's actually better for you than what you might think. The symptoms are as follows. You constantly think about money. No matter how much you're making or what your current situation is, you might be just shit broke. You're constantly thinking about it. You constantly want more. You feel like you don't have enough. You think about the future a lot. You worry about what might happen. You worry where you might be. You worry that you're not going to be in a place where you want to be. You're worried about your potential. You're worried about the consequences of not doing things in the present for you to build up a better future. This is another symptom. Relationships are a problem for you. You don't know if you're going to get along with this person in the future. You don't know if you might be able to hold a connection with them. Now, on the occasion, some will worry about their health. Do they have any signs or symptoms that they might have a disease or not? Since you know what are the signs and symptoms, now I want to tell you how to deal with this. It all depends on what exactly you're dealing with. If you are dealing with this topic right here, the first topic, first I want you to understand that most people, especially if you're young, if your age is between the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, if this is your main concern and worry and it's a problem for you, I would say it's a blessing because you understand the reality that you're actually living in. You understand that nothing comes free. You understand and you have this pressure and this responsibility and stress about what might happen later on. Will you have enough to support yourself as a person? Will you have enough to support the way you want to live, where you want to live, how you want to live, right? These, in my opinion, are not bad. If anything, they will drive you forward. How? How will you drive forward? Well, fear is a better motivator than what you may think. Fear, in my opinion, is a blessing to have it in these two situations because you want to do something now. You want to solve this problem now. And if you're constantly thinking about it, you will end up solving it. But a problem that I personally faced, that I've had to deal with, and that I was stupid and naive and ignorant as a younger version of myself, was that I was thinking about these things from an earlier time in my life, was I didn't know what to do and I was lazy and I didn't want to do much about it. That is where it's a problem. If you're not taking action, yes, this can be a serious problem. So don't make the mistake I did. Take something. Ask people for help. Search it up. Find a way to start. Somehow book a call and invest into a mentor. Something that it will keep you pushing forward. Because don't make the same mistake as I did. I was lost. There's too many opportunities. Don't get lost. Try things out in order for you to find what you're good at, improve that skill, and be better at that skill. So you can make A, more money, and B, less stressed and worried about your future. This is a blessing, in my opinion. If you're suffering from this is a blessing to have. Because you know what you must do, why you must do it, and it will lead you to level up quicker than what you might think. As a person overall, it will prep you to being a more independent, organized individual. Now, since we've gotten that out of the side, and you cope these two symptoms or signs the way I just told you, you'll be blessed and you'll thank me later. Now, relationships. This is something that you can and cannot control. If you're constantly worried about, I'm lonely, I don't have anyone, I want to be with someone, you're at a very, very desperate spot in life. Have you ever asked yourself, why do you want it so bad? What is the reason? Is it a need or is it a desire? Have you looked at the dating market at the moment? Have you considered a lot of these factors? Why is this important to you? If you're younger, this should not be your main concern. This is a desperate need. This is a desperate desire. You feel left out. I'm telling you, you're not gonna miss out a lot. It's all petty, it's all pointless in your younger years. But if you're 30, 40, and you're worrying about this, I can understand the concerns. Because maybe you did want to find a partner. Maybe you did want to start a family, but nothing came along. But maybe you never put yourself out there enough to be that person. Maybe you're not prepped. Maybe you don't sell yourself as a person who is willing and ready for a relationship. Analyze the mistakes you made. What type of a partner were you trying to be with? Look at your own examples of what you've done wrong, and what you valued at the time. Was it only based on looks, or was it based on thinking about other things that are more valuable and that do take time? So what I would recommend is to recollect yourself in this space, because most of us have made the mistake that we've chose the wrong partner over and over and over again. We were so stupid and naive to understand the signs, but worst of all, we were ignorant to accept and realize those mistakes that we made, that we end up falling into the same loop over and over again, leading you to never realize what is actually out there. This is more of a problem that men face than females. If you're constantly worried about your health, this might lead you to have mental breakdowns in the future, because you will be so paranoid in anything in terms of your environment. You don't know what to do with yourself if someone is vaping, having a cigar, or smoking, or someone's smoking a shisha, or someone's drinking, or someone is eating, let's say, unhealthy food. You're constantly looping yourself in this crazy phase, because you're so worried about the environment that other people are doing, and it leads you to worry about your own, and then you become a very, very picky person. That pickiness will lead you to actually mentally break down. Now listen, if you don't want to smoke, if you don't want to drink, if you don't want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm not here to tell you to not to do it or to do it. It's up to you, right? If you don't want these things, don't do it. But keep it at that. Keep it simple. Don't be a person that ruins someone else's experience. If someone loves, for example, to come home from a long days of work, sit down, have a coffee and cigarette, let them be. These people that suffer with health, they are so focused on trying to control other people that they don't realize that you become a very dislikable person, and you will start to dislike yourself, and people will start to dislike you, people that you love, because you're so pressured and annoying. Yes, there is a boundary between trying to help someone for their better, but don't be pushy. Think of yourself in this position as if you're a scammy caller, non-stop bugging people. They get annoyed, they just want you to piss off. You're being that type of person. And what happens to that person? He leads himself to his own demise, leading him to live a very unfulfilling life, because he is trying to control everything in terms of his health. Some people, they've never done any of the following. They've never smoked, drank, done drugs, or anything. They die at an early age. They die at a very early age, completely healthy. Some things you can't control, sometimes you don't know. For the people that are suffering from this, I want you to realize that if your own immune system realized that you had eyes, it would attack the nerves in your eyes and it will lead you to be blind. So imagine for a person suffering this, after I've told them this, how they must feel. Some things you have to come to accept and understand. You can't control everything, you can't control everyone. Do your best, but don't let it overwhelm you. Because who knows, you could be the healthiest person on the books, but tomorrow you could die. No one knows. Some people smoke their whole life and have no problems. Never had lung cancer, never had throat cancer, never had anything. You don't know what's waiting for you. Some people can just be around cigarettes, and a few years down the line they can get sick and die, and they find it that was the reason. So don't overcomplicate this. Sometimes it's better to understand that you can't control everything, but do the things that you can control. This is my advice for people suffering with JAD. It's a blessing to be in these categories. It's very difficult in these two. I hope you're able to take something away from this, implement it, and learn how to deal with these symptoms.